These are the biggest trending news in Nigeria as at today, 29th July 2026. We will look at the front of newspaper and also review all the newspaper from Punch to Vanguard to Daily Trust and many others. Stick around from the beginning of this video to the end to get the latest gist happening in Nigeria today, and don't forget to like, share and subscribe. Today we will begin with the Vanguard newspaper. Yesterday we started with the Punch newspaper, so today let's begin with the Vanguard newspaper. As you can see from the screen, the major headline from the page of Vanguard says, "Deregistration of ADC orders was judicial rascality, says appeal court." We talked about the judgment of the Court of Appeal yesterday, which nullifies the earlier judgment that was given by the Federal High Court concerning the deregistration of some political parties, particularly ADC and some other political parties. The appeal court has nullified the judgment of the lower court earlier given. In the judgment of the appeal court, they held that the lower court lacked jurisdiction to entertain such matter and that it is judicial insubordination, so it is null and void. And then from the top of the newspaper, it says, "Nigeria risks losing Africa tech investment edge, LCCI warns." Below it, you have ban sachet alcohol. NAFDAC uncovers hidden factories, fresh productions. The NAFDAC have gone after these sachet alcoholic drinks that are not registered with the NAFDAC, and they also do not have NAFDAC registration number. Some of these sachet drinks are actually very dangerous. If you really analyze these things health-wise, you will understand what it means. And I think the NAFDAC are doing a very good job. In the middle of the newspaper, you see Nigeria at war. Tinubu has no strategy to end it, says Olawepo Hashim. And then to the other side of the newspaper, you have Nigeria loses 47% of dollar millionaires, retain fourth position in Africa. Of course, as the naira is going down against the dollar, that will eventually affect the strength of our currency. And if you go down below, you have gunmen kill army colonel in Abuja, shoot wife. Mob kills Unijos graduate over alleged phone theft. Fresh Benue attacks, leaves 16 dead, many injured. Of course, there was the news that was online yesterday on some of the newspapers that says a colonel in Abuja was killed when some gunmen were trying to abduct him and he resisted. And as a result, it led to them leaving him dead. If you go down to the bottom of the newspaper, you see Homasio celebrate 10 years, launches Women Impact Funds. And then you have Oyo received 2 surveillance aircraft to boost security. Next, Nigeria demands justice compensation after Afrophobic attacks, federal government. And then right down to the bottom of the newspaper, you see Tinubu orders manhunt for Kaduna killers. And now we will move to the Punch newspaper. From the Punch newspaper, the biggest headline on Punch newspaper says, "Federal government overshoot borrowing limit as new debt reaches 12.62 trillion. Imagine 12.66 trillion naira in debt. Also, it says government misses revenue, targets by 4.9 trillion despite higher non-oil revenue earnings. Budget deficit balloons by 47% above projection." And also on the right, you see fresh loan bankroll 36% of 2024 spending budget office report. And then if you look from the top of the Punch newspaper, it says appeal court restores ADC, Atiku, Mark, Adeleke celebrate. Police silence as reps, ultimatum on fake agency director general expires today. Another one that says EFCC faces credibility questions over asset auction. You can go and read other parts of the news headline there. Let's move to Daily Times. On Daily Times, the major headline there says, Tinubu orders manhunt, vows Kaduna killers will pay dearly. And also to the top of the newspaper, it says, call for nomination, DTN at 100 Naira Trailblazer Award. And also on the right hand there, we have China money slumps as UK, US lead $10.37 billion inflow to Nigeria. Other top headlines are also there on the front of Daily Times. You can go and read the remaining ones there. Let's look at the Independent newspaper. The major headline on the Independent newspaper says, Nigeria net liabilities hits $90.2 billion amid foreign capital boom. And then you have President Tinubu having a handshake there. If you go to the top of Independence, Daily Independence, you see herdsmen killed 16 persons in fresh Benue community attack. And then on the right hand, you have Tinubu orders manhunt after 30 killed in Kaduna community. You can read the details on the newspaper. And then down below, we have Kaduna government names Adams as running mate, ending Muslim tickets. You also have federal government targets affordable housing expansion with new finance authority. And then the next one is NAFDAC uncovers illegal production of banned sachet small bottle alcohols. And then if you go down to the bottom of the newspaper, you see Atiku Abubakar, lawyers hailed appeal court ruling, halting the registration of ADC and others. You can read the remaining part of the news in the Daily Independent newspaper. Let's move to the Daily Monitor newspaper. The major headline on the Daily Monitor says, appeal court nullifies order deregistering ADC for other parties. And then you have some other ones there on the front of the newspaper. It says, berate Justice Lifu for disobeying order directing him to stay proceedings in the case. Appeal court judgment restores confidence in democracy, says David Mark. And also, if you go down to the bottom of the Daily Monitor, it says Kaduna killings. Again, Tinubu orders manhunt of perpetrators. Victims' names, bodies, houses, shop razed down, unveiled. And that is all for the Daily Monitor. You can read other news on the Daily Monitor. Thank you for watching, and don't forget to like, share, and subscribe. See you in my next video.